shit neighbors you can split whenever you want.
That's right. You can't once you buy. If you buy now, you're sitting on your house for 10 years. There's no choice.
Yep. And you better hope to everything that every God in heaven that the dollar doesn't completely collapse while you're sitting around, because you'll be in big trouble.
Right. And I live in California. For those of you who don't understand, the most liberal rental market in the United States. Like, you literally need a crowbar to get somebody out of a house when they don't pay. Literally.
Yeah. You guys got some real crazy laws there.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I joke about when it comes to banking and dealing with foreclosures. Well, people haven't been paying for 2 years. We're just clearing out the backlog. No. The default rate wouldn't stay at 4%, asshole. Okay? It's a constant rate. Figure it out. The banks operate under one clock, usually California law, because it's the hardest to deal with. So most people get 6 months to 2 years of non-payment before they're actually booted. Look at New York. New York is the highest foreclosure state in the nation at this moment. Why? They do Liz pendants. And it took 5 years for everything to catch up in that place. And now all the shit's hitting the fan, so everybody in New York is freaking the fuck out. There were a lot of stories about the foreclosure spike in New York. That got swept under the rug. I'm just totally amazed at how under wraps the real estate market is right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I've been checking out China's because, my research has led me there. We're doing some research about trade deals and stuff like that. And it really amazed me how they were, it looked like Enron to me, the way that they were building up
printing dollars. It's printing dollars. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I live in a country where we printed dollars. Okay. When everything is wine and roses, I'm with Trump. When the market goes down, I make money. Everybody wants to throw Trump under the bus. He does real estate for a living. That's what you want. Ultimately, everybody who speculates in even China, when you speculate in real estate, it is an investment. It is a commodity. It will always go up and it will always go down. Always. But when you're tying your dollar to it, man, you are risking some really sketchy shit. I mean, we have really swept repeatedly. Like, dude, does anybody get that we only have 3 banks in the United States right now? They were all consolidated, literally.
And people don't even understand. They hear the word the Federal Reserve and they think it's a division of the federal government. It's really a conglomerate of foreign banks.
Yeah, right. And that's why I'm surprised at everybody's fear. We'll have to do a show on Bitcoin at some point because it's something to be discussed and what's behind it and whether or not it's tangible or how it all works and how it all plays out. It's having a huge impact. I think the reason it's so strong is because people have lost faith in the dollars of so many nations.
And that's what it boils down to, Lee. People are so deathly afraid of the collapse of the petrodollar that people that are in the know, and when I'm talking about big time forecasters, guys that have worked for Goldman Sachs, and these are guys that know what they're talking about. When these guys are talking about diversifying and buying $150 million in crypto, that's something you need to jump on board and take a look at, because these guys don't just willy nilly throw around the $150 million. These are the most shrewd investment bankers in the world.
I really highly recommend Zeitgeist for reading for everybody. It's an older movie, but it's out there. It's on YouTube, in fact.
It's on Hulu as well if people have access to Hulu.
Go and watch the original Zeitgeist, where they point out that everything is leading to a globalized dollar. And the only one who managed to pull off the globalized dollar is going to be Bitcoin. And that's why it's being so successful. It's not based on anything.
Yeah, you know why it's so people don't realize it's the blockchain's kind of difficult to explain to people that don't really, that are very green. But what's going on with Bitcoin, there's only a finite amount of Bitcoin that's ever going to be produced. It's hard coded that way. So once it's done, it's done. It's finite. It's not an infinite product. You know what I mean? So it has a lot of worth.
It is a tangible commodity unto itself, even though it's out in its own universe.
And there's a lot of different currencies popping up too that are just blowing my mind as I watch the way they bounce and jump. And what I'd like to do is we'll do like when we do our Bitcoin segment show, we'll have my buddy Jay Hill come on. This another guy is really into Bitcoin. He knows what's going on. He's really locked in, and I'd definitely like to have him come on and talk about this with us as well.
Absolutely. Again, just go and find us on Facebook. Find Bobby or find myself on Facebook. Let us know. Clearly, you guys are listening to the show. Numbers have doubled since our first episode, so I appreciate that. I'll probably end the show on something light. This was kind of a heavy ending to the whole show. Gronkowski in or out, really make a decision on who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, it looked to me like he had brain damage when he got cracked like
Boy,
that.
Did he get hit or what?
He got up and he said, wow.
Yeah, wow to Gronk is a pretty big hit. Is there any way in hell that Philadelphia can win this game?
Look, I mean...
By the way, for those of you who are into conspiracies and follow money, go to OddsShark. All the monies, and when I say all the money, anything that's greater than 60% in betting, that's all the money. I think everybody's on the +5.
Yep, everybody's diving on that. That's the way it looks like all the smart money's breaking that way as well. But what I'm thinking about doing is doing a straight bet Patriots money line. Yep. Just a money line Patriots play, and then on my parlay, take the points with Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's more of me being biased. Obviously, I hate Tom Brady. I hate the Patriots. I hate the city of Boston.
They're 12-2 against the spread.
And the thing is, they've lost some Super Bowls before. And what if Nick
this
Foley
is that
and
weird
Dynamite
year?
has the game of his life?
Or what if it's a lopsided 30-7 game?
That's why I have the Patriots money line to cover my bases.
Right. This is one of those weird ones, right? Like, you can make an argument for, by the way, for all of you wondering, Bobby is quite the book. You can follow him and just pointing it out. I really like the Patriots in giving up the 5, and I really like the unders a lot.
Yeah. I think the unders is a good play in this game as well. I think the Eagles' defense is definitely going to come to play. And if Wentz was playing, I'd like the over actually, because I think they'd be throwing the ball all over the field. I think with Foles in there, they're gonna shape their game plan to make it kind of a medium type of strike game plan, a quick strike kind of game plan. The Patriots have had some problems with that this year, so I look for them to expose the middle of the field and expose the Patriots cornerbacks and linebackers in the middle of the field. But if they can't do that, they're going to be in big trouble because the Patriots are going to stunt and they're going to come with a lot of different looks on defense. Belichick, he doesn't mess around when it comes to the defensive looks.
So while we're on conspiracies, did you think that the Super Bowl blackout was planned or an accident?
I don't know. I didn't really even jump too far into that. I haven't really been paying too much attention. As a Jets fan, I'm still experiencing PTSD from the season. PTSD is really kicked in, so I haven't really been following the Super Bowl.
No, Super Bowl in the past. The San Francisco blackout game.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think that was a conspiracy. I think it just is what it is. I mean, everything can't be a conspiracy. Can it?
Can it?
I don't know. Are we living in the Mandela effect?
It dramatically changed the betting in the second half.
Oh, 100%. I'll never forget. I was working in the sports book the day that happened. We had a big private event in the joint, and I was running the event in the joint, and that happened, and people were going absolutely batshit like I had something to do with it.
Right.
I was like, first of all, I have nothing to do with the TVs. Second of all, I'm just taking your bets, bro. I have nothing to do. You guys have this game fixed. I'm like, whoa.
Everything can't be a conspiracy, or can it?
Or can it?
Can it? It's challengethenarrative.com where you can get all the episodes. You guys should be all up to date. What are we looking at for next week, Bobby?
I'm thinking, we'll do like a three-banger next week. We'll talk about the DNA, like I said we would last week, but the dossier got in the way. We'll talk about CERN a little bit, and we'll talk about the Mandela effect. Three things that are pretty interesting topics that up until recently, within the last 6 months, I wasn't really too hip on any of these topics. So it's something that we're all kind of we'll learn together, I guess.
And then in a couple of weeks, as we get closer to the Academy Awards, I definitely want to talk about the over-political. The hashtag Me Too, come on.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
And I got to be honest, it's starting to feel like bullshit when I hear that Bill Cosby is already going back to stand-up again.
it seems like, a lot of grandstanding is going on from a lot of people that shouldn't be grandstanding. So, look, I have nothing but sympathy for any woman who says that they've been sexually assaulted.
Absolutely.
That's a whole different story. If you say you've been harassed by a guy catcalling you, or I got a problem with that, because that's not harassment. That's a guy showing appreciation for your beauty. You might think it's crass, but he's not harassing you if you tell him to stop, and he does.
Yeah, the Aziz Ansari story is kind of getting to be the tip of the iceberg on this whole thing, which is, I had a bad date. Hashtag me too.
Yeah. And Steve Wynn, too, we got to talk about, because I think they're going after him a little ridiculously.
Yep, I agree. That'll do it for this week. Everybody tune in. All you have to do is go to challengethenarrative.com, and that'll get you up to date. It'll get you dialed in. For Bobby Capucci, my name's Lee Honish. We appreciate all of you listening. Thanks.